I would like each of you for a moment to picture yourself out on the San Francisco Bay. You're on your own private yacht on the upper deck, out on a lounge chair, soaking up the sun's rays. And you're just having the time of your life. You're admiring the waves in the water, beautiful colors, gentle waves propelling your yacht. And you also have a little twinge of anxiety, excitement, happiness. And the reason for this is you are about to sail into uncharted waters to a new and distant land where you've never been before. And you have no idea what to expect, but it's surely exciting. This, my friends, is how I wish you to view your businesses. And my tips today are designed to help you avoid tidal waves and make it a smooth sail to the destination of your choice. My story goes, I was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years. I knew I had to go back to work. My husband did some research in the office, and one night he came home and said, I have it, Elinor. I know what you should do. You have the personality of a salesperson. I was horrified. I looked at him and I asked, is that a compliment or an insult? Well, I went out and interviewed, got all spiffed up, and I landed a job in a blue-collar office. It was the only one I could get, selling an unknown brand of copier door to door. Now the real fun begins. The manager was so upset I was hired, he told all the men in the office not to talk to me in hopes of forcing me out. I had never sold before. I hadn't been in the business world many years, knew nothing about business, the technology. I was so green, I didn't even know there was a sales cycle. What did I do? Wherever I was invited in for an appointment, I made friends with the other person. I got down on a very personal level to find out what their goals, hopes, and dreams were and how I could help them. I found the magic formula for building business. By the 4th month, I was the top rep, and I held that title throughout my career, even in high tech. So how did I come to being an entrepreneur? I'm telling you my story because through experiences, you can learn through others and avoid the errors they make. That's the #1 way of growing your business quickly and smoothly. And that's my mission, is to help you. I found myself on a stretcher at Stanford Hospital with a very badly broken neck, and all of the attendees were saying I would be paralyzed. The morning of the surgery, I was wheeled in to meet the surgeon, and I was told that I would only have 90 seconds to speak to the surgeon until I succumbed to the medication. I want to remind you, I could not move. And to my disbelief, I heard the surgeon tell me, Mrs. Stutz, when you wake up, most likely you will be paralyzed. And immediately I used my sales skills. You have to use sales in every aspect of your daily life. I locked my eyes straight onto his and did not let go until I fell under. And I mirrored his voice, his vocabulary, and in no uncertain terms I said, Doctor, when I wake up, I fully expect to be well. Well, 4 days later, I walked out of that hospital. Ashe. So like that first office where they tried to force me out, and like the doctor who wanted me to accept paralysis, you have to know who you are, believe in yourself, know exactly where you're headed and how you're going to get there. That's the only way your business is going to grow. Ashe. Oh, okay. There we go. So I became an entrepreneur. I actually had entrepreneurial skills under me. Those are more creative skills. And to my horror, I had been able to sell to any company that I set my mind to. Mark Twain said it best, if you believe you can, you will, and if you believe you can't, you won't. And I subscribe to that wholeheartedly. Well, I used to be able to challenge myself to get into Fortune 100 companies, so I figured being an entrepreneur would be no problem at all. But to my surprise, I found out that men thought I needed to prove myself all over again, and didn't believe that I knew enough to be a trainer. And women said, sales, and they ran for the hills. They figured I had to be slimy. I certainly hope I don't appear that way to you today. So I had to educate myself. That is the next tip. You must continually educate yourself to get to the next rung of the ladder, to get better and better and better. I was missing marketing skills big time. I learned you need to speak with confidence, whether you're networking at a convention like this or you're writing to let people on the internet know who you are. So in order of this, I first learned you need a 10-second tagline to attract people to what it is that you do. And then you need a 30-second to 60-second explanation of how you do it. And finally, a 2-minute story of how you've helped previous clients, because that's what the other person truly wants to know. So I'll give you an example. By the way, I apologize, I forgot to mention handouts are in your bag. So I'll give you an example of how I do this. When I meet people and they say, tell me about your business, I say, I turn your stormy sales cycle into a smooth sale. Well, how do you do that, Elinor? At Smooth Sale, we help entrepreneurs, network marketers, and salespeople understand the entire sales cycle through relationship building. And we take a holistic approach to sales. It's sales and marketing skills and a few marketing strategies that will put you in the leadership position. You will be viewed as an expert. The other things I learned upon educating myself was, in order of how I learned it, you have to write a newsletter, articles for distribution on the internet, and now blog. Well, there aren't enough hours in the day. So this is a problem for many business people. The next word I learned in marketing is to repurpose. And that doesn't mean copycat precisely everything that you've written. Instead, with the blog, that's my favorite now. It doubled my traffic almost overnight. You capture your many thoughts during the day and quickly write it down in a couple of paragraphs and send it off. And then over a course of a couple of weeks, you kind of have a running theme of what you're doing. And then you can write a long article. And I learned there's automatic article submission that'll send it to article directories and many relevant sites. So it's highly efficient. And then for my articles, I'll take the highlights of what I wanted to say and write a succinct newsletter for my devotees. And that goes out bi-monthly. It's called Sales Tips E-Zine, which may be found on my website at smoothsale.net. So that's what I learned. Keep educating yourself. I still devour marketing materials.